What is up, YouTube fam? Robbie C here. We are back with another Marvel Snap video. I hope you guys have been loving and enjoying this game thus far, and as you are going through the game, I have heard multiple people say that they wish the game was a bit more intuitive, that there were things inside of the game that are hidden or features or things they just don't know exist, and I want to take 7 minutes to talk about 7 features inside of the game that you can utilize to start getting even more out of your Marvel Snap experience. So without further ado, let's dive into number 1. The first place that we're going to check out is going to be the collection. You can find that at the bottom of the screen. It'll be the second from the left button. And inside of the collection, we want to introduce you to the filter button. You'll find the filter located in the bottom right of the screen. It looks like, surprisingly, a filter. You can sort by ability of the card, whether you want to work on that ongoing pain deck or you want to head on over to the on reveal options. Not only can you sort by ability, but you can also sort by energy cost. But by turning off the all variants button, you can actually remove the multiple copies of cards that you're going to have so that it's a lot easier and streamlines rolling through your collection. If you also want to take a peek at all of the cards that exist in the game, make sure to hit that show unowned category. It's also worth noting on this filter that there are going to be cards like so that are not yet released to the game but do exist within the data encoding of the app itself. The second thing that you're going to want to check out is the events that happen throughout the game. We have only had a handful of events actually hit the Marvel Snap universe, but the one that we currently find ourselves in is Symbiote Invasion. Symbiote Invasion is the name of the season pass, but we also have an event of the Symbiote Invasion, and you'll find that in your news section of the app. The news section can be found in the upper right corner of the screen by hitting those wonderful news article pages. Here you'll find videos from the Marvel Snap team. You'll find your inbox, which contains all of the rewards that you hopefully gained during the Global Launch Week celebration, as well as news, which takes us to the Invasion event. This event ran from October 19th through the 28th. If you happen to see this before the 28th ends, you can swipe up and notice that all throughout, if you played your game during this Invasion event, you probably unlocked some rewards to the event. If you're like me and you're already playing the game, why not participate in these events and just at least hit those collect prize buttons? That way you can win things for your team and make your account that much cooler. The news tab is also where you're going to find patch updates so that you can tell what cards have been sent to the graveyard and what cards are rising new and strong. The third tip is all about upgrading your cards, and I've had lots of people ask when they should upgrade cards or if they should be saving their credits to spend as they go, and the honest answer is that after you have upgraded a card beyond the base level, which is that initial frame break, coming in at 25 credits and 5 boosters, no matter how you spend your credits, they are just as effective in gaining you collection after you have broken a card past the initial frame break. So then why should you upgrade cards? Well, honestly, if you fall in love with the card and you find yourself using it, upgrading the card to infinity and splitting it actually allows the card to look even cooler over time. This is my Agatha Harkness, and when I go to click that upgrade button, it's already at max quality. And upon splitting it, it created this rainbow background that some of you are probably starting to see in your games. Now, when I upgraded this card to infinity and split it for a second time, it actually created another card which had 2 special effects on it. Notice I now have the rainbow background as well as this beautiful, awesome sparkle that's coming off. 2 of the rarest things that you can get when you split the card is you can either get the gold background, which I believe you have to split a card up to 6 times before gold even becomes an option for you in the split, or you can also get a black and white version of the card when you split it once the card reaches infinity. I want to say once again that upgrading the card does not make it perform any better inside of the game. It simply allows you to keep progressing up the collection level while playing with cards that you want rather than being forced onto different cards just to gain more options. Now, the fourth thing that I want to talk about is missions. When it comes to missions, you're going to see the weekly challenge track. Depending on where you live in the world and you're watching this, for me, the weekly challenge updates on Monday nights at 10 p.m. Central here in the United States. Why is it important to note when the weekly challenge updates? You can only hold 6 daily missions at a time. If you're looking to be as efficient as possible, you need to make sure that you have empty slots available every 8 hours for 2 new missions to fall into place. But if you just make room when that weekly challenge track resets to its entirety, you can actually save your weekly weekly mission, rather than just getting the credits and season pass experience, you can start moving your way faster through the weekly challenge track on the next week. So if you get to late Monday night and you're thinking to yourself, man, I just got all this time, I should play these missions and get these done, it's not a terrible idea to keep 4 of them ready to go and instantly pop them once the reset occurs. Now, all of these are external pieces to the game, and I wanted to take you into the actual game itself to close you out with 3 features that are sneaky good inside the actual game. Marvel Snap has created an incredibly intuitive client. It entices you to reach out and grab anything on the screen and know that when you do that, there's going to be some form of interaction. But for numbers 5 and 6, there are 2 things that especially new players don't realize actually exist in the game. Let's say that my opponent does something really cool and I want to say, wow, great move, my friend. Well, currently you might think that I have no way to interact with them, but that's what I want to show you, the emotes. If I simply tap on my player icon in the upper left, it's going to drop a menu as well as a host of opportunities to interact with my opponent. I can hit him with a classic, what just happened? But hold on real fast, I gotta make sure that my cars don't get wrecked. By clicking on the player menu, you're gonna see there are 8 responses that you can give to the other player, as well as 5 emotes that currently exist to all players. Marvel Snap has announced on their roadmap that their goal is to eventually have custom emotes that you can buy in the shop or unlock in other season pass ways so that you can have even more interaction with players rather than just crushing them across the Snap universe. Tapping on this menu also gives you insight into 3 important things, which are the number of cards destroyed in this game, the number of cards that have been discarded in this game, as well as how many cards are currently left in your deck. Now, as the final note on that player menu, know that you can also do the same thing to your opponent and tap on their icon and see the number of cards that they've destroyed, number of cards left in their deck, and most importantly, how many cards do they have left in their hand. So you can see if that strong guy is actually going to pop at the end of the game and what are the odds that they're going to be able to get that strong guy to pop. But in the case of Yellow Fuzzy Ball, we're just going to snap right back at him and go ahead and take our dub and walk out of here. Thank you for your kind service, Mr. Yellow Fuzzy Ball. We'll always remember you here in this video. Now for our third feature, something that I want to highlight, and we have the streamer setup screen, it can often get hidden in the options. The power button at the bottom of the screen actually has a reset button built into it. If you simply tap that power button, you can actually hit undo all actions, and it's going to return all of the cards that you played to your hand so that you can ensure that cards are actually landing down on the board in the correct order of reveal, because sometimes that can be the difference between winning 8 cubes and losing 8 cubes. So if you're ever wondering, did I play these cards in the right order, or do I just really hate how this turn shook out, feel free to tap that center button, hit that undo all actions, and do it again just to make sure. Make sure you're still doing it within the time limit, because nothing feels worse than missing your turn. And the last tip that I'll give in terms of things that the game doesn't tell you but are pretty paramount to your success within the game is the collection level. Pool 1 stops at collection level 214, which means that at collection level 214, you are going to have these same cards that every single other person you're playing against has. So if you're looking to gain a competitive advantage and you find yourself currently around the end of your Pool 1 experience, I would highly encourage you to sit tight right there and hold on to your credits and play as many games as you want to try to get as far up the competitive track as you possibly can. Understanding that there are multiple tracks to progress up inside of the Marvel Snap universe, lots of people could care less about where they're at on the competitive track because maybe they don't like the icons or they don't like the card back or whatever the prizes are within this track. And that's perfectly okay, because stressing about power cubes can honestly be a huge drawback to your Marvel Snap experience. But if you care about that competitive track, then I really do suggest getting to the top end of a pool and sitting tight right there so that you don't bump into the next pool of cards, because if the people you're matched against happen to have better luck and get better cards early on inside of that pool, you are going to actually be at a competitive disadvantage inside of the game. The place you see this the most is once you launch into Pool 3. Early Pool 3 can be a tragedy to your Marvel Snap experience because you just simply may not have some of the better cards, and other people may have gotten lucky with some of the more meta type cards early on in their Pool 3 experience. But I'm stopping myself at 7. I think there are a lot of things inside of this game that lots of people haven't haven't either discovered yet or have just become so commonplace that people like me can even forget to tell people about it. With that being said, what are some of the things that you've discovered inside of the game that other people may or may not know? Feel free to leave a comment below and share that knowledge with others, because we once again want to make sure we're using the comment section here on this channel to be an educational piece for future viewers that come through and check it out. I want to say thank you for supporting the channel. So far, it has been really cool seeing new faces roll through, and I am beyond grateful for the love and support that y'all have shown in the comments already. We're having a great time testing out this game, and I'm glad you guys are enjoying it as well. I hope you have an amazing rest of the week, and I hope you can make it fantastic for someone else too. But for now, I'm going to leave you with the snap and the wombo combo.